200 days. That could be all the time you have left with your parents. Yes, that's it. Only 200 days. And if you don't start managing your time wisely, that number could be even smaller.
Ever heard of Tim Urban's Your Life in a Week's concept? It's a pretty interesting way to visualize your lifespan. Basically, it breaks it down into weeks and shows you how short life really is. We often take things for granted, but when you realize that certain moments could be way shorter than you think, it's a real eye-opener.
Yeah.
Let's break it down even further. Let's say you are in your 30s and your parents are in their mid-60s.
Fair enough.
And you see them about 4 times a year, like birthdays or holidays or any other kind of celebrations you want to think of. Now, let's assume that your parents will live until 80 years old. That means you only see your parents around 50 to 60 times more. And if you spend about like 3 or 4 times 4 days
Yeah.
each visit, that makes it a total of as little as 200 times until your parents are not around anymore. Crazy, right? And if you're like us that live in another country, pandemics might make that time even shorter than it really is.
This should really make you think about on how you are living your life. But be careful, because it can also mess up with your mind depending on how you handle that information, right? Confused? No worries. Stick around and we'll explain it all to you. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button, because you'll be back real quick. Now, it is pretty obvious why the life in weeks concept is mind-blowing. You could realize that you only have a limited numbers of holidays left, or that you only get to experience a certain numbers of iPhone releases, right? Or maybe you have a limited amount of time to mend a relationship with your son, your daughter, or even your parents that you've been estranged from.
By the way, if you head over to the website Wait But Why, you'll find even more fascinating facts about this concept. The link is down in the description, and even Elon Musk himself is a big fan of the guy behind it. So it's definitely worth checking it out. Alright, so let's say the person watching us is a smart cookie, and you understand all of this we're saying. You realize that you take more things for granted than you thought. Once you hear this, you'll try to enjoy this time you have left in the best way possible. And yes, you should. But here's where the tricky part comes in. You must be really careful, as it can lead you to make some irrational choices.
Yeah, for example, you might prioritize seeing your parents over going on a dream vacation, even though you really wanted that vacation. Or you might spend way more than you should just because you don't have much time left and you want to make the most of it. But alright, enough of theory. Let's talk about how we can help you to manage your time and your money if you're not really good with finances in the best way possible.
First things first, how did you even realize this? Well, it's simple. First of all, we are just telling you.
Yeah.
And second, you just stopped and actually thought about it. So if you don't want to end up saying, whoops, I didn't spend enough time with my kids, when it's too late, you need to remember this regularly. Weeks or monthly reminders should do the trick. And the best way to keep track of everything is through planning. There's no other way. Plan your days, weeks, months, years, decades, whatever you want to play it. And if you're already a planner, just make sure to include some dedicated time for what really matters to you. It can be family, friends, or even work. It's your life. So just make sure you put aside some time for you to dedicate to these activities.
But that's okay. If planning isn't really your thing, no problem. Just jot down a note somewhere to remind yourself to make time for what is important. It could be setting an alarm on your phone or simply putting a note on your fridge to guarantee that you will never forget the big events. We have a huge calendar sheet hanging behind our door marked with the important dates for us. I personally love it because it's different from a virtual calendar. which means that whenever I'm looking at it, there are no distractions from WhatsApp or Shein saying that I need to finish my cart because I've suddenly won a 70% discount voucher.
Well, if you want to try it out, scan the QR code here on the screen or hit the link in the description below to get a hold of yours from our website. It's quite big, so it's good to see it from anywhere in the room. You could even be laying on your bed like we do when we wake up and see all the events we got there. So you make sure you never miss a single thing. And you never actually get distracted looking at your phone because that's the only thing you're gonna see.
And if you already have your calendar at home, that's fine too. Just make sure to fill your weeks with love, and a little bit of budgeting brilliance. Let's all live well and spend our money wisely for a better future, or at least enjoy the remaining days we all have left.
Now, if you're already sucked in the big spending black hole and that's affecting your financial health, click right now in this video here. There we give you 3 reasons why you never have extra money, 2 ways so you can learn how to change that, and 1 task, a simple task but very efficient to improve your finances. Alright, so click there right now. I'll see you there.